Amazing. Hi, everyone. I just would be nice if I could get a little, maybe, can you give me a thumbs up or a hands up or something to say that you can all hear me and see me? Okay. If I don't hear, I'll just, oh, thank you. Amazing. I was going to say, I'll just assume that I can hear, that you can hear and see me anyway. But that's amazing. I've got confirmation. So my name's Holly. I work in the International Partnerships Office here at GCU, more specifically in our sort of unofficial exchange and study abroad team. So we are responsible for the vast majority of sort of study abroad activity at GCU, and that's both students from Glasgow Caledonian University going out to study abroad at some of our partner universities around the world, and also we help support the students that come in to GCU from our partner universities to study for a period of time at GCU. So it's really nice, lots of nice experiences and cultural exchange. Um, so it's a lovely place to be and lovely people to work with. Um, so I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the different kind of opportunities that we have at GCU. It's quite light touch. I won't go into massive amounts of detail so as not to completely overwhelm you, but hopefully it gives you just a little idea, a little taste of what is available to you if you come and study at GCU. So different options. The main options, the main ways to study abroad, we have kind of two different streams, if you like. The one that kind of the biggest number of students generally take part in is what we call exchange. And exchange just means that you go and study abroad at one of our partner institutions, so different universities around the world, usually for a semester. In some cases, it's possible to go for the whole academic year. Students at GCU, if they wish to, they usually do this in their third year of study. We ask students to apply in year two, although some students who do come to us directly into year three, they can also apply as soon as they arrive at GCU and then go abroad in year three. So if you apply in year two, you can go abroad either in the first or the second semester or the whole year. If you come straight into third year, you can go abroad during the second semester of third year. So exchange is credit bearing, which basically means it's a part of your degree. It's almost like a replacement year or a replacement semester to the modules that you would study at GCU if you just stayed here in Glasgow. Um, you aim to study courses that are fairly similar, or at least cover the sort of most important learning outcomes of the modules that you would study at GCU. And that means that when you come back, you bring back your credits with you that you've gotten on exchange, and they go into your GCU transcript, and that means you can progress on to fourth year of your degree without adding any time onto your degree. So it's a very popular way of studying abroad because it gives you a chance to stay abroad for at least 4 months, and it doesn't add any time onto your course. So it's really convenient, and it gives you the time to really immerse yourself in the culture of the destination that you're studying in. The other option, so for if you even if you just wanted to try studying abroad before you participated in a full exchange, or if exchange isn't for you, if you don't want to maybe go abroad, if it's just not possible for you to go abroad for as long as a semester or the whole academic year, we have the option of what we call short-term study abroad opportunities. So these are different from exchange in that in the vast majority of cases, they're not credit bearing, they're not part of your program. They're kind of extra, they're for experience. There's something, you know, that's good for your CV. Might be a chance to improve your language skills or just really like immerse yourself in another culture. There are quite a lot of different opportunities at GCU to study abroad for a short term. When I say short term, generally goes from about 2 weeks, can go all the way up to sort of 8, even maybe 12 weeks in some cases. Um, so like I say, different types of opportunities. There are sort of more culture based programs. So we have fantastic cultural immersion programs in Vietnam, a summer school in South Korea, which is very much about the culture, the history, the language. And then some summer schools that are out maybe a bit more specific to a subject area. So it might be sustainability or AI or an ICT summer school. Lots of different objects, different subjects. Um, and then we have some study or work placement, which in cases are actually part of the program. So these might be for maybe your allied health programs like nursing, occupational therapy, um, physiotherapy. There are some placements abroad that are actually part of the program. They're one of your sort of mandatory placements, but instead of doing it in the UK, you can go abroad to complete that placement. And what I've got here is I've just got some quotes from a kind of range of students who've taken part in some kind of study abroad opportunity during their time at GCU. And I think it's just nice to sort of, you know, see what they got out of it, and it's, you know, like reasons why we recommend that you study abroad straight from the horse's mouth, as it were. So Rachel went on an exchange to CEU Abba Aliba University, which is one of our partners, because we have multiple partners in Barcelona in Spain. And she said that her time abroad gave her a global perspective, which I couldn't have written better myself, and made her more culturally aware as well. So it's obviously that's really nice and really just a good thing to have um, going forward through your life. James, who did a 12-week work experience placement through our partner, British University Vietnam in Hanoi, used a lot of his free time whilst he was there to explore, really immerse himself in the culture, doing weekend trips to different parts of the country. It's obviously a good chance it might be one of the only times that you're you know, in a complete other part of the world. So it's a good opportunity to take that time to explore the local area as well, the country that you're in. Um, Learn a language. I've popped this in here just to point out as well that it's not necessary to speak or know another language, a foreign language, if you want to study abroad. All of our partner universities that we work with, they provide teaching courses in English. But it is a good opportunity to, obviously, if you did want to improve your language skills or pick up the basics of a language, there's really very often the opportunity to take a language course and get some language skills. So Craig was able to really improve his French language skills during his semester abroad in France. And a lot of students who take part in exchange and study abroad, they come back and they say that they made lifelong friends. So Olivia, who did an exchange to Southern Utah University in the US, just made amazing friends. She missed them so much that she went back to visit just 2 months later. She actually asked if she could just stay there, and she had to come home, unfortunately, but she went back to visit very soon after. And this is just a nice quote, I think, from Craig again, who did a semester abroad in France. And I think it sums up what a lot of the feedback is from people, from students who have taken the opportunity to study abroad. That it's just like it can be the best time of your life. I studied abroad 12 years ago, and I still say that it was, one of the best times of my life. So I think that just sums it up nicely. Um, I've just popped some examples here of different sort of exchanges that students have previously taken part in. So Mia took an exchange to Brooklyn College, which is one of our very, very popular partners, located in Brooklyn, New York. So that was in trimester A, or the first semester of 23-24, so the previous academic year. And Abby also did a semester exchange in Huelva in the south of Spain. It's an absolutely amazing destination, quite near the Portuguese border in the south of Spain. And then just some of our short-term opportunities, because we have quite a wide range that I wouldn't be able to list them all here. But I think I mentioned this before, cultural immersion program in Vietnam, but they also do work experience programs, so they have lots and lots of different opportunities for work experience, which is really popular as well. Hansung International Summer School in South Korea. This is a very, very long-standing study abroad opportunity that we've had at GCU, and we've probably had over the years upwards of almost maybe 100 students take part. So really, really popular, amazingly well organised, and just like once in a lifetime experience. And then maybe slightly more academic in nature, our partner Cologne Business School in Cologne, Germany, offer 4-week summer school with some different kind of study options. So sustainable transformation, EU politics, economics, where it's like an academic focused summer school. There's always cultural visits and extracurricular activities built into the programme. And another quite popular one is the IFAP School of Communications in Paris, France, is a really incredible institution, particularly for students interested in fashion, media, marketing. So they have a fantastic summer school program that's either you can take part for 2 or 4 weeks with some really, really cool different programs. Funding, so obviously a big question is how does one afford to go and study abroad? What are the kind of financial aspects of it? So in general, if students take part in an exchange, so where you go and study abroad for a semester or an academic year, students don't pay tuition fees to the partner institution. Your tuition fees are paid to GCU as normal. So if you're a SAS funded student or a student finance funded student, you pay through your regular funding body, or just personally, if that's how you pay your tuition. There are other fees. Sometimes there are administration fees. Obviously, there are costs attached to studying abroad, because you are responsible for paying for your travel, your accommodation, your kind of day-to-day living. For short-term opportunities, some of the programs have fees attached, and some are free to take part in because they're part of our exchange program with our partners, but there is generally costs for accommodation, travel, etc. So some of these costs can be offset by external funding that we receive. So the main source of funding that supports students going to study abroad comes from the UK government, and it's a scheme called the Turing Scheme. So this is a scheme that all universities can apply for funding from in the UK. And it supports students going out to study abroad with a focus on providing financial support to students who need it most, who wouldn't maybe be able to take part in this kind of opportunity without financial assistance. It also provides funding for students with additional support needs if they will incur sort of additional costs in order to study abroad associated with those needs. There are also some little kind of other sources of funding. So GCU finance department, they have some scholarships related to traveling or studying abroad. So we have GCU Travel Awards, and there are some external bursaries as well, which we make all students aware of where they might be eligible to apply for those. If you want to find out more details about studying abroad, you can scan the QR code there. It will take you to our kind of dedicated web pages. So you'll find information there on kind of the exchange process, how to apply, when to apply, and you'll also find quite a lot of information about the different short-term study abroad opportunities as well. We always welcome questions. If you want to get in touch, you can contact us at exchangeinquiries@gcu.ac.uk. Oh, I didn't realise that was the end of my presentation. And yeah, I'm more than happy to take any questions if anyone wants to. I think the Q&A function is enabled for this session, or you can pop any questions in the chat if you like. Check. Oh, no questions yet. No. Does anyone have any questions? Give a wee moment in case you want to think of them and put them in the chat. I can see a couple of people are typing, so I'll just wait a wee moment to give them time. Oh, okay. So a question from Empress: what year can adult student nurses? Okay, that's a good question about nursing. So nursing students, I mentioned this maybe at the near the start of the presentation, so it might have been before you joined, Empress, but nursing students can't do the sort of typical exchange, so they can't go abroad for a semester or an academic year, and that's due to the sort of placement requirements for nursing students. However, there are a couple of sort of placements abroad that students can take part in. So we've had students this year go to do their placement in Sweden. And we have a couple of opportunities, not to do a placement as such, but more of a sort of familiarization trip to some of our partner institutions in the US. I think those are either 2 or 4 week trips. I don't think there's a specific year that students can do that. It might be it might be a particular placement that can be done abroad, but that you would need to get that information from the sort of program from the faculty staff on that. Is there support provided for settling into a new culture? Okay, that's a really good question as well, Emma, sorry. So yeah, so what I would say is that on GCU's side, we are very much there supporting you through the application process. You've got, so myself and we're kind of small team at the International Partnerships Office. So we are very much there to talk you through the application process. We might come into your classes to talk about exchange and study abroad. We hold information sessions and kind of support sessions on different aspects of the application. And then if you do sort of get allocated a study abroad experience, we are very involved in the sort of pre-departure process. So we're kind of there talking to you about documents. We have multiple meetings before you go. And then when you go abroad, it's very much the host institution or our partner institution that you're attending abroad. They will be there for you to support that sort of settling in the sort of these experiences. It's very much a situation where you generally find yourself surrounded by other students who are in the same situation. So either if you're going on exchange, you'll kind of immediately be surrounded by, 50 to 100 students who are also on exchange. So they're also looking to settle in and make new friends. There's generally really good support. Or if you go on a study abroad program, again, you're in a group of people who are on the same sort of journey as you. So yeah, we find that students' feedback is that they do feel well supported, and we talk to you about that before you go, about homesickness and all that kind of stuff. And we ask students to really research and think about where they might like to go. Are they comfortable going as far as Australia or the US or Vietnam? Or would it make more sense for them maybe to stay a bit closer to home, maybe to think about Scandinavia or France or Spain? So yeah, again, it's lots to think about, and it is a big step. We don't pretend that going abroad to study for an extended period of time is a little thing. That we know it's a big thing, and if everyone who works in our office has participated in an exchange, actually, in particular, but different study abroad opportunities. So we all really understand the worries and the challenges associated with it. So we're very well placed to support, I think, if I say so myself. I can see, I think we have another question. So I'll just hold off a wee minute. Okay, question from Megan. Are we able to choose a place to go for an exchange, or do we choose from a list of universities or institutions or course, etc.? So that is a really good question, with both a simple and complicated answer. So GCU has a list of what we say partner institutions, and that just means that they're an institution or a university that we have an agreement with, a contract with, that says that we'll exchange students, we'll send you students, and you send us students. We have a lot of partners. I think over 100 exchange partners. In most parts of the world, and we're so we have a lot of partners in Europe, in quite a few in the US, quite a lot in Canada. We have a limited number of partners in sort of Australia, Asia, and then we're kind of working on increasing the number of partners to give students more choice in those kind of maybe countries that are becoming more popular. So Australia, Asia, Japan, South Korea, places like that. So essentially, yes, you choose your place. We actually ask students when applying for exchange to list 3 different institutions. Those can be all in the same country, they can be in different countries. So we ask you to list 3 preferences, and we try our very, very best to allocate you to one of those preferences, but they must be from the sort of list of available destinations. So it can't just be a random university that we don't have a partnership with, if that answers your question. So yes, you can choose, but it can't just be any institution. That's okay. Thank you very much. Any other? I see Emma's typing again, so give a wee moment to type your question. Okay. Okay. And I just would say if you do if you're thinking about studying abroad, or you're maybe nervous about it, um, please just get in touch. Once you come to GC, if you do come to GCU, I really like people to come and talk to me. We're quite often at the sort of freshers events, and things like that. So we try and be sort of present on campus if you want to come and have a chat. But we also have office hours every week, so there are times that you can come and speak to us. So sometimes it's just nice to kind of speak through things and talk about your options and what might be best for you. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I guess I think we'll just end the session there. If anyone wants to ask questions afterwards, again, please feel free to get in touch by email. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. And thank you so much for your time and for coming along. Bye.